We've got a question from Claudia, and she wants to know, she says that her kids, how does she improve the self-esteem in her kids?
Well, you know, I think you've got to go back with your children. This is a big deal to me. You got to ask yourself, what is it that your children are using to define their self-worth? And what I fear is that that's too externally determined. We look at billboards and we see these girls up there that are just, obviously look glamorous and gorgeous. And so our children compare themselves to those images. What they don't understand is those people don't look that way either. That's all smoke and mirrors. I mean, that's all makeup and lighting and all of that. And so what happens is kids compare themselves to an unrealistic standard. And so I think when you say you want your kids to feel good about themselves, you got to start with saying, I want you to tell me what's good about you, just like you would tell me what's good about a friend of yours. Like, and pick a friend. So like if somebody says, Carol's your really good friend, tell me why Carol's your friend. And they say, well, she's funny, she's nice, she's loyal. Get them to talk about another person and say, okay, now tell me about you. What's good about you? And you want them to talk about the things that matter. The fact that, well, I'm caring, I really like my friends, and I'm nice to them. I'm smart, I've got a sense of humor. I work hard, I contribute a lot. You want them to start valuing the things that really matter, not comparing themselves to some magazine or some billboard. So that's what I think you do. You start with them creating a self-image that they can describe and articulate, and it's about the things that matter.
Can I tell you something, Dr. Phil? I went to dinner with a friend of mine once, and she pointed out in a half hour, I thought she was the cutest girl, and she pointed out every flaw in herself throughout dinner. And by the end of the night, I was like, oh, maybe she's not that cute. But like, people don't notice that. It's only when you tell them. It's how you feel about yourself.
Yeah, and listen, if somebody's putting themselves down all the time, my attitude is always, well, they know themselves better than I do, so maybe I shouldn't be their friend. I don't know. So really, I'm glad you asked that question, and I really hope you'll talk to them about creating this kind of internal dialogue about themselves that acknowledges their skills, abilities, traits, characteristics that make them uniquely who they are.